The discoveries made by the James Webb Space Telescope are stretching the limits of modern astronomy. And right now, they're on the verge of reshaping how we understand nature itself. Scientists are beginning to realize that Webb's latest observations have revealed something unexpected in the early universe. Something that's challenging researchers around the world and hinting that these findings may pose a serious challenge to our standard cosmological model. In a truly unprecedented observation, astronomers have identified a mysterious structure buried deep within the early universe. According to the standard model of cosmology, the Big Bang occurred roughly 13.8 billion years ago, and the universe has been expanding continuously ever since. When we talk about expansion in the early universe, we mean that massive objects are steadily moving farther apart. As a result, every galaxy beyond the Milky Way is receding from us. To determine how distant these galaxies are, astronomers rely on a measurement known as cosmological redshift. Simply put, the greater the redshift, the farther away the galaxy is. Light from distant galaxies takes an enormous amount of time to reach us. That means the farther away a galaxy is, the further back in time we're seeing it. But there's a catch. As this ancient light travels across the expanding universe, it gets stretched into infrared wavelengths, light the human eye can't perceive. The Hubble Space Telescope can observe ultraviolet through near-infrared light, which is why it rarely detected extremely distant galaxies. One notable exception was GNZ11, seen as it existed about 13.4 billion years ago, just 400 million years after the Big Bang, with a redshift value of 10.957. Discoveries like this led astronomers to believe that very few galaxies existed beyond redshift 11. Then came the James Webb Space Telescope. Unlike Hubble, Webb was designed to see deep into the infrared, making it possible to detect objects with redshifts of 11 and higher. So what happened when we finally turned it toward the sky? The universe revealed a very different story. From the depths of cosmic history, Webb uncovered dozens of galaxies that may rank among the earliest ever formed, completely reshaping our picture of the young universe. Using Webb's earliest observations, astronomers began searching for galaxies at extremely high redshifts, signals that these galaxies formed far earlier in cosmic history than expected. As the telescope swept across the universe, NASA identified several candidates that may rank among the very first galaxies to ever exist, appearing just 200 to 300 million years after the Big Bang. Soon after, researchers announced the discovery of what may be the oldest known galaxy, Galaxies Z13, observed at a redshift of 13.2. This galaxy appears to have formed only about 300 million years after the Big Bang. The sheer number of galaxies found in these early epochs suggests that our current understanding of how galaxies form may need to be rethought. As the lead astronomer on the study from the University of Missouri explained, these observations offer the first strong indication that many galaxies may have emerged far earlier in the universe than scientists once believed. While the recent discovery had already electrified the scientific community, yet another primordial galaxy emerged. This one dating back just 390 million years after the Big Bang. The James Webb Space Telescope continued to make groundbreaking revelations in the early universe. The MIRI European Consortium team announced the detection of an exceptionally red object that had been overlooked by the deepest near-infrared surveys. They identified this object while combing through Webb's images for faint, previously unseen sources, opening yet another window into the cosmos's earliest epochs. Faint sources are particularly important because distant objects emit very little light, making them appear dim and red in Webb's images. While searching for these elusive sources, the team came across an exceptionally red object that had gone unnoticed in previous surveys. Scientists believe it could rank among the most distant objects ever detected. Of course, faintness can sometimes be misleading. Nearby objects can appear dim if obscured by dust, but the team has ruled that out. The object appears extended and has stayed in the same position for over a year, eliminating the possibility that it's a brown dwarf within our own galaxy. At present, its true nature remains unknown. In a research paper, the team outlined 3 possible explanations. Initially, they considered that it might be a dwarf galaxy rich in dust, located roughly 4 to 5 billion light-years away. However, further analysis has made this scenario appear less likely. Another idea suggested that the object could be a distant, dusty galaxy formed 1 to 2 billion years after the Big Bang, but researchers found this scenario unlikely as well. The third explanation, however, has captured the most attention and confidence. In their paper, the scientists proposed that the object might be a galaxy resembling the recently discovered small red dot galaxies identified by the James Webb Telescope. Astonishingly, this red galaxy sits at a redshift of Z equals 15, meaning it existed just 100 million years after the Big Bang. If this interpretation is correct, it would become the oldest and most distant galaxy ever observed, challenging our current understanding of cosmic history. The discovery of these tiny red dot galaxies has already puzzled astronomers, as they are far more massive and luminous than current models predicted. The discovery of yet another, even more distant object is now putting the standard cosmological model to the test, presenting a major challenge to our understanding of the universe. Recent observations are adding more evidence that the conventional framework may be incomplete. According to current theories, galaxies weren't expected to form so early in cosmic history. Yet a newly discovered galaxy, dating back roughly 13 billion years, appeared long before the usual formation process involving massive dark matter halos could take place. Remarkably, this early galaxy contains more stars than the Milky Way, even though it formed just 800 million years after the Big Bang. This finding suggests that some galaxies may have emerged without the guiding influence of dark matter, seeding their own formation in ways that directly contradict the standard model of galaxy evolution. Scientists are now grappling with a fundamental question. How could a galaxy form without enough dark matter to kickstart the usual process of galaxy formation in the early universe? Claudia Lagos, Associate Professor of Astronomy at the International Center for Radio Astronomy Research, explains that the existence of these extremely massive galaxies so early poses serious challenges to the standard cosmological model. The problem is that the massive dark matter structures thought to be essential for holding early galaxies together simply wouldn't have had enough time to form this soon after the Big Bang. To truly understand how these galaxies came into being, we'd have to look at what might have happened before the Big Bang itself. At present, attempts to answer this question remain speculative. Some ideas venture into the supernatural, suggesting a designer, while others stay within the bounds of physics, invoking concepts like the multiverse, an infinite collection of parallel universes, or cyclical models, where the universe undergoes repeated cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Roger Penrose offers a fascinating explanation for the existence of these massive early galaxies. In his theory, he proposes that another universe existed before the Big Bang. While this idea remains controversial among cosmologists, Penrose's perspective is especially compelling for philosophers of science. It opens new pathways for thinking about the Big Bang, moving beyond conventional cause and effect explanations, and provides a unique framework for exploring how physics can illuminate the nature of our universe. As the James Webb Space Telescope enters the final year of its science operations, astronomers eagerly anticipate even more extraordinary discoveries that could reveal why, how, and when the universe came into being. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's deep dive into the cosmos.